Welcome back, everyone. We've got some interesting news, I guess. This is kind of strange, but it is Lord of the Rings news nonetheless. So let's get into it. It is Magic the Gathering, the trading card collectible card game, will be doing a crossover with Lord of the Rings, or I guess I should say Middle Earth in general, and that is set to release in 2023. Um, and it's interesting because by then the Amazon show will be out, and so there may be some sort of kind of play there in terms of trying to get the show and the Magic the Gathering cards to kind of correlate. And also they're going to definitely have some from the original trilogy. They've already showcased a Gandalf and some hobbits and stuff. So it's kind of neat. It's kind of fun. I don't know how many Lord of the Rings fans play Magic. I assume there's a pretty big crossover though.
I'll be interested in just the artwork even on the cards. I think that'll
Yeah.
be.
Well, that's one thing. Like Magic the Gathering, the cards they do always look pretty incredible, and so if nothing else, it's a fun little keepsake. I'll probably pick up a couple sets because
Yeah, why
um,
not?
yeah, I love the artwork. They're gonna have like little like the cards usually have like little quotes from people. Now, I will say normally Magic the Gathering creates their own worlds and has completely original characters in them and backstories going on. Um, and in this, they're gonna have to uh, play it a bit safer by incorporating pre-established lore, um, which I think is actually more challenging for them, to be honest, because they don't want to misstep here. Um, but I will say this has definitely not been well received by everyone. I've been trying to find some more friendly reviews on articles, and I have not been able to find them. The people who really like Magic the Gathering do not like the fact that they are going to be crossing over not just Lord of the Rings, but also Warhammer 40K, as well as Street Fighter. And also, I will say, like, Magic the Gathering is not just set in fantasy realms. There are times where they're in, like, some sort of techie, futuristic realm, or a combination of. Sometimes it's like a steampunk style. So
Hmm.
it's not completely unheard of for them to be incorporating something like Warhammer. However, what will take people out, and this is what I think a lot of people are upset about, is these sets are planned to be released back to back. So what you're going to have is you're going to have Lord of the Rings characters fighting Warhammer characters side by side with
Uh,
Street Fighter characters.
so they intertwine.
They will, because the
Oh,
way that the rotation works, there will be a little bit of overlap, and so you're going to have potentially some sort of Warhammer character fighting Gandalf, and then the next release. So Warhammer's coming first.
so you could have space orcs fighting orcs,
That's right. You could have space
Earth
orcs from 40K fighting
Earth,
Tolkien's orcs.
Middle Earth orcs.
Yeah. And then in the next year, you're gonna have to fight some Street Fighter characters. And I think um this crossover potentially is too overlapping. Maybe they should have spaced this out a couple of years so that it's kind of like a one off. But they are going for this like gigantic like metaverse realm with all these different characters from TV, video games, and what have you. So it will be interesting to see the artwork for sure. But in terms of the play, a lot of the true Magic the Gathering players who are really into the card game, they're not too fond of what's happening here. I will say recently they did do a Dungeons and Dragons crossover, but that kind of does play into it a little bit better. And also because Dungeons and Dragons is such a large world and people create their own characters, a lot of the preset characters aren't as well known, so people might not even recognize them when they get into the card game. But you will definitely recognize Gandalf, Aragorn, the hobbits, and so there's definitely going to be that outside influence that you're definitely going to notice with these crossovers because of how big the properties are that are coming into the Magic the Gathering realm. Yeah, if you some of these comments are kind of silly because Fortnite might also be crossed over, I guess. So it's definitely going to be silly, and maybe that's what also kind of is making people a little bit hesitant to accept this and be outright against it. Is that the when the world is kind of in the same setting, and each new expansion is in a similar setting, there's not this jarring like outside influence. There's not this jarring like leap to a completely new area, and so it does feel like you're playing a bit more of a serious game, I guess, or like a more serious story. Whereas here, you're jumping around from a bunch of pre-established video game and book and movie properties. It might be a little jarring for a lot of players. But yeah,
Well,
that's
maybe one day we'll have the final Dumbledore versus Gandalf.
yeah, we just need Magic Gathering to get to get Harry Potter, and then yeah, we'll have I guess at that point it'll be an expanded rotation because these rotations don't last very long, so the playable tournament decks only work for a certain length of time, and then they get rotated out as new cards come in. But yes, there should be a definite Gandalf Dumbledore battle crossover. That would be interesting. Also, it would completely wreck the internet. But yeah, that's it for this one. A kind of a silly one. I don't play a ton of Magic the Gathering myself. I've played it a little bit in the past, and I pop back in once in a while, but I don't play it very much. I'm definitely going to pick up some of these cards though, because I love Lord of the Rings, and the artwork is going to look amazing. But yeah, that's it for this one. Let us know in the comments down below what you think. Are you excited about this? Do you even care about this? If you're a Magic the Gathering fan or Lord of the Rings fan, do you even care? I don't personally have a preference either way. I just think it's neat to have a little bit more hand-drawn or at least artistic depictions of Lord of the Rings characters. So that's the way I'm looking at it.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you guys next time.